I spent the night at his house and smoked pot for the first time. That's when I started drinking on my own stuff and smoking on my own. Around that time when I started trying harder stuff, it got me into heroin. And I knew what it was, but I thought one time wouldn't kill me. But the first time you do it, you don't really get addicted to it. But then I decided I would get it again, and then every time you get a little less time between the first and the last. I was sober for probably 18 months, and then I started getting less sober. We had enough cocaine to last 5 grown adults an entire weekend. It was horrible. It was really? So you always feel like you're at 50%. You do heroin, you feel like you're 100, and then eventually it just drops you down to 0, and you need heroin to get back up to 50. I run a shower ministry through Presbyterian Church. I make sure the volunteers are there, helping me run the services and everything. I make sure we have the food that we need. I make sure all the different agencies that come to us have everything they need as well. One of my volunteers was homeless, living in his car and stuff, and he became a volunteer, and he finally got housing, and it's a pretty decent neighborhood.
Welcome to the Superhuman Blueprint Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Superhuman Blueprint Podcast. I am your host, Drew Griesel from Primal Wellness Coaching. Today I am talking to Tom Windhausen. Tom lives a life of servitude right now, which is it's amazing. It's very inspiring for me. He spends almost all of his time working in service of others, and it wasn't always that way. So I wanted to bring Tom on to talk about kind of the story of how his life has taken him to where he is today, and made servitude and just the life of giving that he lives now kind of his mission and his purpose. For a little bit of backstory, Tom is my oldest friend, not because he's super old.
We lost the same amount of teeth.
Yes, we lost the same amount of teeth. So what were we, like 4 years old? No.
We were in kindergarten.
You don't lose teeth at 4 years old. 5, 6, maybe 6?
Kindergarten? Right?
Yeah, 5, 6 years old, something like that. We went to the same kindergarten, and we became instant friends because we had lost the same amount of teeth, which is, at
Perfect.
that age, it is an excellent grounds to begin a lifelong friendship.
Absolutely.
And here we are, 36 years later, 37 years later or something. I don't know. I'll use the magic of editing to throw a couple of pictures of Tom and I from back then on the video version of this podcast episode, so you can see how cute we used to be before time took its toll on both of us.
Right. Look at that full head of hair.
But yeah, so our history goes way back. We've kind of had our ebbs and flows, and like how close we've been throughout the lifespan of our relationship.
Lost touch from time to time, but whenever we meet back up, it's always like it's been last week.
Yeah. And so I'm excited to have my oldest friend here on the Superhuman Blueprint Podcast with me here in the studio to talk about the life that he's led up until today. So Tom, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, tell us. Let's just start with. So I'm talking about your life of servitude. So when I say that, what does that mean? Like, tell us about your mission and the work that you do.
Well, I run a shower ministry through a Presbyterian Church called First Presbyterian Church of Garden Grove. I'm in Garden Grove off of Chapman and Euclid. And
that's here in Orange County, California.
Yeah, in Orange County, California. And every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 a.m. until around noon, we offer them showers. We offer them 3 meals, an early breakfast like coffee and oatmeal, then a big breakfast and something warm like a burrito or something, and then a lunch to take on their way when they leave in the afternoon. We have clothing for them. We have DMV services for them. They can get those Obama phones if they need them.
What's that?
Years ago, it's one of the things Obama did that I really liked. He offered basically free cell phones to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you're on food stamps, if you're on Medicaid or Medi-Cal or one of those things.
What kind of phone?
Well, they're pretty good actually. They're not iPhones or anything like that, but they're Galaxy phones though.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really nice.
So when I see someone out there panhandling for money and then I see them with a phone, I shouldn't judge them and assume they don't actually need the money, because maybe they got the phone for free.
They did, most likely, yes.
I will admit I'm guilty. I'm like, oh, this person's holding a cardboard sign asking for money, but there they are on their, hundreds of dollars smartphone, but maybe they got this phone for free and it's covered. Got it.
And I thought that was great because it really made their world a lot smaller, because they can finally reach out to their families. They can finally reach out to their friends if they need.
Yeah. Okay.
They weren't just stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little less stuck.
So what is your job there?
My job there, I'm the ministry coordinator. Basically, I run the program. I make sure the volunteers are there, helping me run the services and everything. I make sure we have the food that we need. I make sure all the different agencies that come to us have everything they need as well. We work the OC Healthcare, and they offer them medical services. They help them with their insurance if they need help. They'll help them with their housing. They'll organize groups of them to come together on weekends, and they'll drive them up to the LA courthouses so they can get their birth certificates.
Oh, wow.
For housing. Yeah,
cool.
They'll take their weekends and they'll do that with them.
So as a coordinator, you're coordinating a ton of different things, because I know you also coordinate like food coming in, like the food donations and all that.
Yeah, right now we have someone who has a connection through Chick-fil-A. Every 2 hours to Chick-fil-A, they take all the chicken they have cooking, they bag it all up, and they give it to this guy to take away because they renew all their chicken every 2 hours at Chick-fil-A.
Wow, what a great deal.
So this guy has like 1,000 pounds of chicken he's trying to get rid of every day, like every day almost.
Like on the one hand, like if they don't find someone to give it to, what a waste. But on the other hand, if they do, then that's amazing.
So we get like maybe a fraction of a percent of what he gets, but
still.
But then I still have to give it out to like 2 or 3 other organizations because we have no use for that much chicken.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, better to have too much than not enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Chick-fil-A is not cheap either. I mean, it's not expensive. It's fast food, but still.
I guess not when they're throwing
it's very popular.
All their chicken every 2 hours.
Yeah. Do the people at the ministry that are there to eat, do they know they're getting Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, we tell them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we covered that. We used it in the burrito meat and everything. It's really good chicken.
Okay. I will admit, I think I've only ever been to Chick-fil-A twice, but it was good.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Okay. Do you get to sample the burritos and all that?
Oh yeah. The chicken's really good. Okay. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but the biggest thing we're doing right now is the OC Health people. They're housing people left and right now through our
who?
Housing people.
Okay.
Putting people into housing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can.
What kind of housing is available for? Is it purely or strictly like homeless, or is it just people that are just need like kind of a little bit of help with feeding themselves and all that?
Well,
at your ministry.
Well, at our ministry, if anybody there gets housed and stuff, and they need help with food and stuff, they can come back to us, and they can come and raid our pantry. We have a bunch of canned goods and everything.
Okay. But I mean, the people that are coming in, like to eat their breakfast and their lunch.
Oh yeah,
take a shower. Like
most of them are homeless.
Okay.
Most of them are homeless, and a few of them that get housed, they come back because they're bored. And
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So you guys are also finding housing. So what kind of housing is available to people that are homeless?
They have all types of housing out there. A lot of hotels are being converted into like studio apartment type things right now, and they have a couple of those going up in Anaheim.
Okay.
And they also have just apartment complexes around the city. They a lot of them have a certain amount of their housing is available for this type of placement.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, like the neighborhoods that these are in, like what kind of neighborhoods?
Really nice neighborhoods. My one of my volunteers, Steven, he was homeless, living in his car and stuff, and he became a volunteer, and he finally got housing, and it's a pretty decent neighborhood.
Yeah. I
mean, he talks like, oh, no cops come down here and stuff like that, but I don't think they really have to. It's a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
At least in the light, it's not bad. I guess in the dark, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it is bad, but it looks nice to me.
And remind me, when you first, how many years have you been there, by the way?
I've been doing this about eight, almost 9 years.
Wow, almost 9 years. So when you started, were you a volunteer?
I was just a volunteer. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you were committed and you were there all the time. So they offered you a job, right? Is that how it went?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Basically, I started doing a lot of walking when I basically quit my job so I can get sober.
Yeah.
And then I moved back in with my parents.
And we're gonna backtrack to that. But so the ministry is within walking distance of where you're living.
Yeah.
So, there was that, that convenience as you kind of moved away from driving and a lot of other things. Okay, cool. And as an aside, which is totally unrelated, but there was a period of time in my life between 2003, 2004, I want to say, where homeless would not be the right word, but I did not have a home. I was living not in my car, but out of my car, by choice, not because I was, hard up in life, but I had been living in an apartment, and I had a roommate, and then my roommate multiplied to a whole bunch of roommates, and I was very unhappy with my living situation. And so I just moved out without anywhere to live.
Oh, I didn't know that part of it.
Yeah, that was why. Like, I was very unhappy living where I lived, and one day I was just like, I'm out. So I just left without anywhere to go. I wanted to live by myself after that experience, but I couldn't afford it. And so I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna start looking for a place that I can afford. Until then, I'm gonna sleep on people's couches. And I don't think we were even that close at that time. Like, we were still friends, and I think we were actually working in the same place. We were both working at the Wells Fargo call center.
You got me a job there.
Yeah, I got you a job there.
Well, you were doing that in Blockbuster.
Yeah, I worked at Wells Fargo during the day and Blockbuster at night. But you came to my rescue, and you were just like, hey, here's the key to my house. Like, my mom's sewing room is downstairs. There's a bed. Like, anytime you need a place to sleep, just show up and sleep. Like, you don't need to tell us. Like, your parents' place was, I don't know, maybe like 5 miles from where we were working at the call center. So that was amazing. So, like, even back then, like way before you were doing this whole thing, you were already helping out your pseudo homeless buddy. And I ended up doing that for like 6 months, just because I got complacent. Like, it turned out to be fine. I had you and like 4 other people that were just like, hey, come sleep on my couch or in the spare room anytime you want. And like, I just got used to it. Like, I had 2 duffel bags that I kept in my trunk of my car. One had my clothes. One had like my pillow and a blanket and my alarm clock, because that was before phones had alarms in them. And in the backseat of my car, I always had like a case of water and like some bagels and some ramen and some Pop-Tarts. So that was like, and I had like a book and my Game Boy. So that was my life. And I got used to it. So I ended up doing that for like 6 months before I finally found an apartment that I could afford. And then I lived there for a while before I moved out of town.
You'll notice I coyote-proofed my cell phone before I came here, right?
Oh, you took off the Game Boy.
I have a Game Boy thing for the back of my phone, and yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, whenever Uncle Tom comes around, my elder boy, who is only 5, wants that phone, because there is actually a Game Boy built into the phone case, which is
Climbs me like a jungle
wild when I think about how things were when we were kids, and like the coveted Game Boy that I never got until I was
they were
grown.
like a brick.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, that was a total aside, but so let's go backwards. I guess let's just go back to like, I don't know, the time that we started working. Like, we were friends. Like,
Yeah.
we were super close. We were like best friends, super close up until like 14 or 15. Then you like went to your high school, and I was doing homeschool, and then I went to high school, and we just kind of, we went our separate ways, because we weren't together all the time.
We weren't playing
anymore.
G.I. Joes anymore.
Yeah, we were no longer playing G.I. Joes, which was a major point of connectivity for us. Once the action figures went away, we had to find new things to have in common. But we still hung out sometimes, but we just, we didn't hang out all the time anymore.
Yes.
And then eventually you got a job at the call center, and I think somewhere around that time, like, your life changed like a lot. So just talk us through like how, like, I don't know, the trajectory of your life, what kind of led you to a path of needing to make this huge reset.
Oh, you mean to go into?
Yeah, go into the shit.
Well, the first several years were awesome. I mean, they were. I mean, obviously, when you start something, the first couple times are great. But I think it was because I made different friends. Yeah, there was Trevor. I met Trevor, and then I met Stuart, and they were both on the water polo team at Orange Coast College. I thought that was really cool. I started hanging out with them.
Yeah.
Uh, I started taking a couple classes at Orange Coast College, and I started rowing for Orange Coast College.
Yeah, I remember that. You were pretty fit. You were the first person that introduced me to creatine. I'd never heard of it before you told me about creatine.
Really? Okay, cool. Yeah, and I started rowing for Orange Coast College and going to Orange Coast College, and it was right around then when I started drinking, because I started drinking with them.
How old were you?
20.
Okay. So
yeah,
pretty close to legal drinking age.
Yeah, I remember. A side story real quick.
Sure, yeah.
Around my 21st birthday and stuff like that, the first time I went out with my friends Trevor and Stuart, who were both 20 years old at the time, and I was 21.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You were the old one with
Yes.
the ID.
We went to Albertsons or something to go buy alcohol and stuff like that, and I was trying to think of Fat Tire. I couldn't think of Fat Tire though, so I went there and I got the one that I thought that I needed, and I walk out there and I get out there and they were looking at it, they're like, "You dumb fuck, you bought O'Doul's."
O'Doul's. Too bad they knew what that was. It would have been even better if you guys were like drinking that all night and like placebo drunk.
No, they knew what it was.
For those of you that don't know what O'Doul's is, it's like the quintessential non-alcoholic beer that is available here.
Yeah,
it's what pregnant women drink.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I still remember the first night I did pot. It was with Trevor. It was at his house.
Okay.
Yeah, I was spending the night because that's what we hung out. I spent the night at his house and we smoked pot for the first time. And yeah, that was the first night that started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
drinking. Drinking started probably before that, and then I knew he was smoking pot, and I started doing it, shortly thereafter.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we used to go out to my friend Nathan, my friend Nathan was like a friend of the family's. He was like 50 years old or something like that, but he had a cabin out in the desert, off the 15, and not off 15, I think it is. Anyways, we used to go. We used to always go out there and drink. He gave me a key to the place, and he had quads and stuff, and guns and things. It was a lot of fun.
What's funny is I had a kind of a similar experience to your point. I know your story evolves significantly, mine does not, but I had a similar experience with the introduction to alcohol and marijuana at age 15. So in I think junior year of high school, because I finished high school early. I'm not smart, don't be fooled, but I finished high school early. Anyway, I was 15 when I was a junior, and my friends, kind of like your buddy's house out in the desert, my friend had a beach house here on Balboa Peninsula, and it was unoccupied. It was like their family vacation house, so we got to go there all the time, and there was nobody there, and it was amazing. So we started to raid the liquor cabinet. There was like cheap gin and vodka and shit in there. We started drinking, and it was awful, and I did not like it. I got really drunk at 15, like really, really drunk on cheap vodka, and had the worst hangover ever, and it was terrible. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to do that anymore. And then my friend started bringing pot, and I was like, all right, well, I got, honestly, like, it's a cop out, but I got peer pressure to try it. Like, they're like, drink, smoke pot, or go home. And I was like, these are my friends. Like, I don't want to go home. Like, I want to hang out with them. I guess I'll smoke pot because I really don't want to drink. So I smoked pot. I did that a handful of times. Like, less than.
Those were the options. You couldn't be the guy that goes out and gets food when they get hungry.
No, I was 15. I couldn't drive.
Well,
you can't get anywhere at that end of Balboa Peninsula.
Yeah.
Like, that's rich people neighborhood. They don't walk places, so you have to drive to get anywhere. But yeah, so I smoked pot, but like probably like 6 or 7 times over the course of maybe 6 months before I was like, I don't like this either. I'm not doing it anymore. And then I just became the babysitter.
You want to talk a cool beach house? When I was in middle school, I went to school with Carl Karchers of Carl's Jr.'s, his twin granddaughters, gorgeous granddaughters, seriously. And for our 8th grade trip that we did for graduating, we went to their beach house.
Okay.
Massive spread. It was
amazing. Do you recall where that was?
I don't recall. It was somewhere in Balboa. It was somewhere.
Oh, it's here in Orange County.
It was here in Orange County. Yeah,
okay.
It was just beautiful. They own like all the beach you could see and stuff, and had a big old pool in the front. It was like
Carl's Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That was my spot when I was homeless and poor. I would eat that $1 spicy chicken sandwich for dinner every day.
And the big thing I can remember is this one kid I had a crush on in the 8th grade, just out there just practicing, like doing he was a gymnast or something like that, doing like flips and stuff like that in the front yard.
Yeah,
that's all I remember.
Just hanging out, drooling over this kid. All right,
Good times.
Yeah. All right, so that was our segues. Anyway, back to your story. So you're hanging out with your friends. You're already drinking. You started to smoke pot.
Yeah, these are the good times. I love Trevor. I love Stuart. Stuart never did pot. He only drank he was a trooper. He drank his heart out.
Okay, good for him.
Yes, and I did too. So did Trevor. But yeah, me and Trevor did pot and stuff like that. And at that time, I wasn't doing anything hard at the time. I didn't do hard stuff until later. I was doing pills though. I found Vicodin and things like that, and those were fun.
How'd you get that?
It was just offered, Oh, okay. I always joke, the only reason people start doing other things because pot's illegal is because they always try and upsell you. Like, oh, you're doing pot, you want to do some pills too? How about some of this? How about some of that?
Hey, drug dealers are salesmen too.
I mean, if they had stores like they do now, you don't get that at a pot store now.
No, you just get different kinds of pot.
Yeah, exactly. Safer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those were the good times and everything. Yeah, those were definitely the good times.
Okay, so those were the good times. So you were doing these things.
Yeah,
and at this point you're like, okay, like I'm having fun and this is okay.
I was growing. I was doing really good. I was getting good grades in the classes I was taking. I took all the classes.
You were in killer shape too because you were rowing.
Yeah, and I took all the classes I could take without taking the ones I had to take to get my AA.
Okay, did you get your AA?
No, I still have to take the math class and the English class.
Just 2 classes?
Something like that,
dude.
I know.
Well, AA it's kind of worthless anyway.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about an associate's degree.
Yeah, so is the other one too these days, though.
That's true. That is also true. Anyway, so you were rowing, you were having fun, life was good.
Yeah. And I don't know, eventually me and Trevor, we stopped being friends. We had a falling out.
Okay.
And stuff like that. And that was probably when I started drinking on my own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I moved in with my friend. What was his name? Nathan. Yeah.
No names, no full names. Come on, dude.
My friend Nate. I moved in with my friend Nathan and his dad.
Okay.
They had a really big house in Newport Beach. It was nice. I had my own room and bathroom and everything.
Oh, I don't remember that.
No, I don't think we were talking at the time.
Oh, okay.
Not that much, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when I started drinking on my own and stuff and smoking on my own and things like that. And it's probably around that time when I started trying harder stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I started doing that through my mom's work, actually, when I worked at her title company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of her boss's son I was friends with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was good times.
How about that?
Yeah, but
Thanks, Mom.
He was one that got me into it.
Okay.
Yeah, he got me into heroin, and I knew what it was, but I thought one time wouldn't kill me because he told me he didn't have anything to sell me. Yeah. Because I wanted to get something that wasn't heroin, I guess.
Yeah.
Because all I have is,
if I think of like extreme narcotics, like heroin's about as extreme as I can come up with.
Yeah, fentanyl these days probably.
Fentanyl, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I still remember him coming out to the car and showing me how to chase the dragon with it.
What does that mean?
Basically, you put it on tinfoil. The real way to do it is to shoot it. That's that when you're a novice, you chase the dragon. You put it on tinfoil and you get a straw and you light it from the bottom, and the smoke comes up, and you.
Oh, you just inhale this.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And it tastes really, really, really awful the first time.
Okay. And
then it is very good.
Okay. So did you get addicted like immediately?
No. I mean, yeah, the first time you do it, you don't really get addicted to it. Okay. I mean, if you don't do it again for a while. Yeah. Yeah, but then I decided I would get it again, and then every time you get it, you get a little less time between the first and the last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So it was the high that you got was like, I guess you liked it enough that you're like, all right, I'll try this again sometime.
No, actually, this was right around when I got my DUI.
Oh, you got your DUI. I do remember that.
Yeah, 10/10/10.
That
October
was the date?
10th, 2010. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was I got a DUI. Someone actually rear-ended me. but I was drunk, so
Yeah.
DUI.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have said, nope, everything's good. See you later, and driven. The cops were there like that.
Yeah. So how did having the do you lose your license? How does that work? I forget.
Yeah, I had my license I lost it for about a year, but I had it for the first probably 6 months before I lost it. Had to go to court and all that. I got a lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing. It was all probation, stuff like that. Nothing bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not probation, but not parole, but probation. Parole. Ugh. Yeah, no. I'll do anything to not be on parole. Parole means you got to report to somebody, you got to pee in a cup anytime they see you, all that crap. Yeah. But no, I got sober after that. I started going to AA. That was when I came out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. No, that wasn't right when I came out. It was probably about 6 months to a year after that.
You came out to me via text message because I asked you because somebody outed you. Do you remember that?
I remember you came over to my house and I did it. I thought
no, you're an asshole, by the way.
I know.
That was when you came out to your mom.
I know.
Yeah. No, when you came out to me,
that was also the night I told her about the DUI.
Oh, dude, you're such a dick.
Two birds, one stone, man. Two birds.
Yeah.
One
Why'd
stone.
you have to invite me over for that?
Because it got me out of the house to talk to you.
Yeah, I did. No, when you came out to me, it was because we had both worked at the Wells Fargo call center, and I have a close friend that also worked there, Olaf, and he's gay.
Yeah.
And so he and you worked there, so you knew Olaf, and so he, I guess, became part of your social media circle. You had a profile where you would be openly gay, and you one where you weren't. And I was not on the one where you were. I didn't know you were gay. And Olaf, when I was moving from Northern California to Portland.
Well, it's so easy to make those little groups and stuff.
Yeah, totally. But so Olaf, he drove with me. So he flew. He met me up in Oakland, and he drove with me to Portland when I moved there. And I was driving my car and all my stuff up to Portland. And I remember we were sitting having dinner somewhere north of the Bay Area, and you came up. I don't remember why. And he was like, "Yeah, I was surprised when I found out Tom was gay." And I'm like, Tom's not gay. He's like, "No, Tom's gay." I'm like, Tom and I have been friends forever. I'm pretty sure that I would know if he was gay. And he's like, "No, Tom's definitely gay." So I just texted you and I was like, "Tom, are you gay?" You were like, "Yeah," you were very apologetic. You don't have to apologize. I'm just wondering. I don't care, but.
And I haven't stopped.
Oh yeah, you haven't stopped. You haven't grown out of it. It's not a phase.
Apologizing.
Yeah, you still apologize all the time, and I want to sock you in the arm every time you do. But no, the night you came out to your mom, you invited me over and you didn't tell me. And I just walked in. You're like, "Hey, come over. Let's grab a coffee." I'm like, "Cool." So I come over and there's all tense. And I'm just trying to be casually polite with your mom. And then you're like, "All right, let's go get a coffee." And I'm like, "Okay." And then, yeah, as soon as we leave, you're like, "I just came out." Fucking A, dude. At least warn me. Warn me what I'm walking into. Anyway, you got a DUI. So how did that, aside from the fact that now you can't go drive anywhere to buy drugs, how did that
that was probably
take you down the path of becoming sober?
Oh, well, I got sober immediately after that. I stopped drinking and I went to started going to AA.
Was that a condition of
it was
getting busted?
It was going to be eventually. I had to have a certain amount of AA meetings, so I thought if I started going right away, it would look better.
Really, one DUI and you have to start going to AA?
Well, yeah, you have to go to a certain amount of meetings, 2 meetings a week for 6 months or something like that, or one meeting a week or something, some stupid small amount.
Okay. So for our non-US podcast listeners, AA is Alcoholics Anonymous, which is a meeting series that you go to, and it's intended to help people that are off of alcohol, just be open about their addiction. Is that what it is? Tell us what AA is. What is AA?
It's a place where you go to find camaraderie amongst fellow people who want to stop drinking. You tell your stories and you hang out, and basically some people say it's a substitute for drinking. Some people say it's how they stay sober. I don't know. It's a good program.
Okay.
Some like it, some don't.
Yeah. Okay. So
no, I killed 2 birds with one stone there because I figured I might as well. I started going to gay AA.
That's the thing?
Yeah, in Long Beach, in Long Beach. I always joke in Long Beach, if you're gay, you're either in AA or you're a drug addict. But I'm kidding.
That's so sad.
No, I'm kidding. No, it's not like that. It's really not like that.
Okay.
But there's a huge sober community in Long Beach. It's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can find a gay AA meeting from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah, every hour on the hour.
Okay. Do you still go to AA?
No.
Okay. When did you stop?
Oh, years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you're still going. You went for a while.
Yeah.
Like you went well beyond like when you had to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going like to 3 or 4 meetings a week in Long Beach.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah, making new friends and stuff like that.
How did you get there?
Well, I drove for the longest time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then eventually I moved out there.
Oh, that's right. You did move to Long Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were sober the whole time you were in Long Beach?
Until I wasn't.
Until you weren't. Okay, so you went sober and then
Yeah,
you went back.
that was when I'm sorry. That was when I started hanging out with Dale.
Okay.
That was my mom's boss's son.
Okay.
That was when I started hanging out with him. That was when he started showing me the harder stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry about that. I was confused about that.
Stop apologizing.
I'm sorry. But yes.
Okay, so you moved to Long Beach. That's when you got into all the harder stuff. So you were already already in Long Beach when
I was sober for probably 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I started getting less sober.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
But
So you got the DUI before you got into heroin.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
you were drinking, you were smoking pot, doing the occasional pill. You got a DUI. You went fully sober. Then you started hanging out with this other dude.
Yes.
And then you went like full bore, like into like the hard shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes, basically. Yeah, he introduced me to heroin. I still remember him showing me how to chase the dragon, like I said. And yeah, I've done that. I've done cocaine. I've done. I did cocaine when I was doing pot with Trevor.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a weekend thing. We went to go visit our friend Matt for his birthday, and we had enough cocaine to last 5 grown adults an entire weekend. It was horrible.
Gross, dude.
It was crazy.
Gross.
But we didn't have enough. But we didn't save any for the ride back. So for the ride back, It was like every 20 minutes. Okay, it's your turn to drive. Okay, it's your turn to drive. We were all so tired.
Wow.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Okay. So then you got into the hard shit. So then
Yes.
how did you like come out of that? Because like a lot of people don't come out of that.
Basically, I just got tired of it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was started. Heroin's fun for a time, but after a while, it's just maintaining.
Okay.
I mean, it's trying to get.
You're just doing it because you need to do it, not because like it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'd say you always feel like you're at 50%. You do heroin, you feel like you're 100, and then eventually it just drops you down to 0, and you need heroin to get back up to 50.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And even more to get up above that, and then
Yeah. Okay.
add stuff to it and things.
Yeah.
And,
So
Yeah.
you just one day you just made the decision that you're done, or what?
that was a couple of times I've tried it. I tried to get sober a couple of times. The first time I started to get sober was the first time I used a needle, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Suboxone is what you used. Was what I first tried to use to get sober. And you put it under your tongue, and it's water soluble. Works like it basically takes the place of heroin and makes it so you don't go through the withdrawals and stuff like
Oh,
that.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, but it's
Is
still,
it a narcotic as well?
no,
Oh, okay.
no. But it's really expensive and it's really small. But if you buy it and you can cut it, the old ones, don't do it now. The ones these days, you'll get really sick off of it, so don't recommend it. But you used to be able to cut them up into like tenths and stuff like that, and mix it up in water and
Shoot it.
yes.
Huh.
And that little tenth of a spot, shooting it would make up for a whole one for the
I
day.
see.
So
Got
you
it.
can make
So-
one.
So that's how you save money.
Yes, that was the
Nice.
first time I tried drugs, and then when I went out again back to heroin and stuff like that, I decided, well, I know I should use needles now. I might as well try it this way.
Oh, wow. So that made it even worse.
Yeah, I was pretty stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't smart.
Okay.
No, but then I eventually about 8 years ago, a little over 8 years ago, I just got really sick of it and stuff like that. I quit my job. I decided if I want to maintain not working, I better move back home with my parents.
Yeah.
So I did that for a time.
And I know you just stopped driving. Like,
Yeah, pretty
was
much.
that just like a decision?
Yeah.
You were just like, I'm not
My
gonna drive
license
anymore?
expired and I just didn't go renew it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And why?
I didn't have a car. Why? Figured why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it's not easy to do things here in Orange County. Like, we don't have great public transportation here, so it's not like you can just like hop on the train or like this excellent system of buses to like go do things.
The bus system's pretty decent. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I guess if you don't need to go far, it's not bad.
Nowadays, it's not bad because on the app and stuff like that, you can see where they are. You can,
No, that is pretty cool.
It tells you when, how many minutes they are away and stuff like that. It's really neat.
Yeah.
My biggest thing about taking the buses when I was when I get to the last one, I'd be sitting there like, did I miss it? Was it early? Am I going to be walking down the street 5 minutes from now and it's going to go zipping by me?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I don't know why. I thought there was some sort of like life event that like caused you to finally like have that like final effort of going sober, but you just decided to.
I was just tired of always trying to find my dealer. It was just really annoying. Basically, I was sick of it. Yeah. So I mean, I moved home. I was still doing the drug for a little while, and then I decided I called a methadone clinic.
Okay.
Yeah, and I started going to a methadone clinic.
I remember you were coming to one that was close to here.
Yeah, it's right down the street on First.
Yeah. Okay.
Still do.
Oh, you still go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going down to the
8 years
doses.
later.
Yeah. I'm going down to the dose. I was at 125 milligrams, which is huge.
Uh-huh.
I'm now down to 70.
Okay.
So it's going down little by little by little by little.
But do you not have to do that anymore?
Yeah, it's going down little by little by little by
Okay.
little. Yeah. But I mean, it's gotten me this far. I'm not going to just completely go cold turkey on something that I should probably do properly.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Absolutely.
When you first get it, you have to go every day and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not like that nowadays. I go once a month. I pee in a cup for them, and they give me 27 days worth or whatever, and I go home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So condition of getting it is that you have to be sober.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Although I guess
what does methadone do?
It basically prevents the side effects from stopping heroin, basically.
Oh wow! So this many years later, you could still experience that.
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, it is. Heroin was the worst decision I ever made.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely.
But so that
I could probably still be partying if I hadn't done heroin.
Oh, well. Partying is totally overrated.
Yeah.
I've never done any hard drugs, and I don't like partying. So.
But then I think I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I hadn't done heroin either. So.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. So like, you said you started volunteering at the ministry 8 years ago. You stopped doing heroin and changed your life 8 years. So it all kind of happened at the same time.
Yeah.
And ever since then, you've been on this like path of like servitude and giving and like ultimately like fulfillment, right? Because every time I talk to you about like what you do, like you just have this like intense positivity. Like you feel really good about what you do. You feel really good about yourself doing what you do. And it doesn't really get much better than that.
No, definitely not. I mean, yeah, 8 years ago, I mean, I started doing a lot of walking because it was either that or stay home and talk to the dogs or my dad. So yeah, I do a lot of walking and stuff like that. And every Tuesday and Thursday, the church that I would walk by would be just packed with people. Okay. And I eventually walked in there and I talked to the pastor and stuff. And
so you just walked in. You're just like, what's going on? Why are there always people here?
Yeah, I was just curious what was going on. She told me, and she gave me a towel, and I started helping out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
A couple hours a day, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just got more and more. Eventually I was there from start to finish. And eventually the pastor that was running it left, and it went to, who did it go to? That's right, it went to Carol, who was one of the main volunteers there, and she took over as the coordinator. And about 2 years later, Carol left, and it went to Bob, who was married to the office manager. And he was He was more than qualified to do the job. He had degrees and everything.
Yeah.
But he was only there for a couple months because then he got a job up in Oregon, and then it went to me.
Okay. I remember when you got that job, like you were very proud of that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how many people would you say like actively show up there every week?
To shower, we're doing about 50 a day every Tuesday and Thursday,
Okay.
give or take.
Yeah.
Probably more than 50 the last couple days.
Wow.
And we probably feed anywhere from 70 to 90.
Okay. Amazing. And that's just like local people, right? Because they're homeless. It's not like they're traveling far to get there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have a parking lot. We probably have like between 5 and 15 cars there a day.
Okay.
Yeah, but they live in the cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll feed them coffee and oatmeal in the morning, and then like a burrito or pancakes with different sides, eggs, cheesy potatoes, random things.
Yeah.
And then we'll do like a lunch for them, with a sandwich and chips and a drink and fruit cup or something.
Yeah. It's amazing.
That type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And now you got your mom volunteering there.
Yeah, my mom retired, and I don't know. They say to help keep your parents sharp, you got to keep them moving.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, retirement can be a killer. People stop producing, and all of a sudden, they just have this like vast mental decline.
Yeah, especially in my mom's family. My grandma had that when she.
Yeah, Alzheimer's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
When we were kids.
So we're being very careful with my mom about that.
Yeah.
Keeping her busy and everything.
Yeah. We should get an infrared sauna. Stick her in the sauna every day. Apparently, it's supposed to be really good for that.
Infrared.
Yeah. That's the fan I have over here.
And that's good for memory?
Yeah. It's supposed to be, yeah.
And
keep off the sugar too. Sugar is really bad.
Sugar?
Yeah. They say high sugar diet is a major contributor to mental disease, including Alzheimer's and dementia. And that's like sugar is anything like that. Bread is sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do to like keep that at bay or just away entirely.
She does a lot of salads a week, like 3 or 4 salads a week.
Yeah.
Like those big ones that you get at the store, those bag ones.
She put some protein in it.
What?
Does she put some protein in it? With chicken or fish or something?
Should she?
Yeah.
Okay.
High protein is the way to go.
High protein.
Another huge factor of health decline and aging is loss of muscle mass loss, and that's normal. Once you hit like 40, like it just starts going down unless you work really hard to preserve it. But preservation requires weight training and high protein diet. So like she should be lifting some weights and she should be eating a lot of protein.
Okay.
I am not a doctor, but I have seen a lot of research.
No, I believe you and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen your degrees and everything.
Yeah. So many of my listeners are not local to Orange County. So if people wanted to volunteer at a place like your ministry, like how do you find that? How do you find like if I'm anywhere, like how do I find something like that?
If you want to, in Orange County, you dial 211. And you can ask, for are there any homeless ministries around in the area?
Okay.
That's one that homeless people use when they want to find the services. That's right.
Oh, really?
Anybody can use to find the services.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah. So if you have things to donate, or if you want to volunteer, or if you need food or anything.
Yeah.
211.
Okay. What if you're not in Orange County? Like what if I'm in Kentucky?
Kentucky? That I am not sure.
You just like Google it or what?
I Google it. Yes.
Okay.
I apologize. I'm not sure how to do it there.
That's all right.
I'm sure they have their own thing too.
Yeah. When I lived in Oakland, I used to volunteer at a homeless shelter. Yeah, homeless shelter in Berkeley for homeless youth. So I think under 18 years old. So there's a lot of like 14, 15-year-olds. But I have no idea how they would find the place.
Yeah. How many kids were there?
It wasn't a ton. Because it was for sleeping also. And it was at a church. So we would feed them. That was my job. Someone would come in to make food. I would show up to serve food and then clean up, wash dishes and stuff. And then they would shower and they would sleep there. But it wasn't a big facility. So I think there was probably not more than like 20 or 25 that would be there for like an evening.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How were they? Were they?
They're mostly pretty shitty. I mean, they're teenagers. Teenagers are shitty
That's what I was
anyway.
gonna say.
Like,
Yeah.
imagine, teenagers are shitty, and these are teenagers with obviously a lot of problems. Like either they're on drugs, they have mental health problems, they just come from a life that was not filled with like love and warmth.
Yeah.
But once in a while, we'd have some there that were like that showed genuine appreciation for the services that they were receiving free of charge.
That's why I say. I mean, every day there's at least one person that'll come up to you and say, "Thank you."
Yeah.
And then it just melts you. It's like, oh, that's worth it. Okay.
Yeah. I remember I had one guy, and he looked pretty bad. Like he looked like he was a tweaker, like just visibly, but he was the guy that always said thank you, and like you could tell he meant it.
Yeah.
Like most of them like wouldn't even look at me when I'm like serving them food. But it's fine. I wasn't there because I needed them to thank me. I was there because, well, it was a new place, and I wanted to find things to do, and I wanted to find things to do that, gave me some sense of like purpose and fulfillment. So maybe I was there because I was selfish, but
My mom sits there holding their plate. Say thank you.
smack them on the back of the head.
Say thank you.
Better thank me for that food. Well, this is super cool. Hey, since we're here, I wanted to just have a little fun. Do you remember this?
Oh God, yeah. I wish I still had mine.
Look at this, guys.
That's what I'm saying. You should build shelving here and display your guys.
If you're not watching the video, I'm holding up my original G.I. Joe carrying case that Tom's mom bought for me when she took us to the G.I. Joe convention when we were like, I don't know,
I saw
7.
my catalog.
You saw the catalog? I'm
I
pretty
do.
sure I do too. So I thought it'd be fun. Oh, look at that. There's the catalog. I got the catalog, guys. I've packed it with paper so the G.I. Joes don't slosh around too much here.
I remember I got the Cobra Commander at that convention. I was so
You did. I was very jealous, actually. Like, look at, oh no, Destro's got no legs. They're in here somewhere. All the rubber bands deteriorate, but here we go. I got Cobra Commander. Thank you all for being here, for hanging out, for my conversation with Tom, my very first best friend, when we were at an age when the title of best friend was very, very deeply meaningful. So, Tom, thank you, and thank you for, what you're doing with the ministry and all that, and the community.
We're expanding now too.
Are you?
Yeah, we're at another church now. We're at First Lutheran. Basically, it's off Magnolia and Chapman on Wednesdays from 8 to 1.
Super cool. So adding another day, another location. Thanks for doing all the good things, and thanks for being the fun gunkle for my kids.
Yes, sir. We're going to the beach this weekend, right?
Yeah, going to the beach tomorrow.
All right.
I love you, man.
Thank you.
You're not supposed to say thank you when someone says I love you, dude.
I love you too. I'm
There you go.
sorry.
Golly.